My doctor gave me 6 months. 6 months to put my affairs in order, to say my goodbyes. But how do you say goodbye to a life you've only just begun to understand? My affair, the only one that ever mattered, was with my wife, Elena. 50 years we had. Or at least, I thought it was Elena I had shared them with. Now, with time slipping through my fingers like sand, I'm writing it all down, not for posterity, but for my own sanity. I need to make sense of the woman I loved, the life we built, and the ghost she was running from. I remember the day I first saw her. It was at a small, dusty bookstore in Greenwich Village. She was reaching for a copy of 100 Years of Solitude, her fingers just brushing the spine. I, ever the opportunist, grabbed it for her. Her smile, it was like the first sunrise after a long, dark night. We talked for hours about books, about dreams, about a future neither of us could have possibly predicted. She told me her name was Elena Rodriguez, a refugee from a small, unnamed village, a story I never thought to question. Why would I? In her eyes, I saw my entire world. Our life together was a tapestry woven with the most vibrant threads. I think of those early years, living in a cramped apartment above a bakery, the smell of fresh bread waking us every morning. We didn't have much, but we had everything. I remember the summer of '78. We took our 2 kids, Sarah and Michael, on a road trip across the country in a beat-up station wagon. No GPS, no cell phones, just a crumpled map and a cooler full of sandwiches. One night, we got horribly lost in the middle of the Arizona desert. The car broke down, and we were stranded. I was panicking, but Elena, she just laughed. She pointed to the sky, a brilliant, unending blanket of stars, and told the children stories of ancient constellations. She made an adventure out of a disaster. That was her magic. She could find light in the deepest darkness. That night, huddled together under a wool blanket, I felt a peace so profound, it was almost spiritual. That's a moment I would give anything to live again, just to feel that sense of absolute certainty that as long as she was with me, everything would be okay. Of course, not every memory is so golden. There are shadows, too. The biggest regret of my life is the year I spent chasing a promotion. I was obsessed with climbing the corporate ladder, convinced that more money, a bigger house, would make us happier. I worked late, traveled constantly, and missed so much. I missed Michael's first steps. I missed Sarah's lead role in the school play. I was physically present, but my mind was always elsewhere, lost in spreadsheets and quarterly reports. I remember coming home one evening, exhausted and irritable, to find Elena had prepared a special candlelit dinner. She had that hopeful look in her eyes, the one that always made my heart ache. I brushed it off. I told her I was too tired, that I had an early meeting. The light in her eyes dimmed, and she quietly blew out the candles. I went to bed the victor of some imaginary corporate battle, but I had lost something far more precious. If I could give any advice to the young men and women out there, it would be this. No amount of success is worth the silence at your own dinner table. Prioritize your family, the quiet moments, the shared laughter. The chaos of a career will always be there, but the peace of a loving home is a fragile, fleeting thing. Don't let it slip away. Over the years, there were small, peculiar things, clues, I see now, scattered like breadcrumbs. Elena had a strange aversion to having her picture taken. She would always turn away, or her hand would conveniently find its way in front of her face. "I'm not photogenic," she'd say with a wave of her hand. She never had a driver's license, always insisting she preferred to walk or take the bus. "It's good for the soul," she'd claim. When the internet became a household staple, she refused to use it, never had an email address, never a social media profile. She was an analog woman in a digital world. I found it charming, quirky. It was just part of who she was. Or so I thought. The suspicion, the real, gnawing suspicion, began about a year ago. We were applying for a new passport for a planned anniversary trip to Italy. The application required a copy of her original birth certificate. She became evasive, agitated. She claimed it was lost in a fire back home, that records from her village were non-existent. The excuses were flimsy, desperate. For the first time in 50 years, I saw a flicker of genuine fear in her eyes. The trip was quietly canceled, but a seed of doubt had been planted in my mind. My diagnosis accelerated everything. Knowing my time was short, I felt a desperate need for the truth. It wasn't about mistrust. It was about understanding the woman I had devoted my life to. I started digging, quietly, late at night when she was asleep. I used the internet she so despised, a tool she couldn't comprehend. I searched for Elena Rodriguez, born on her supposed birthday, but it was a dead end. Thousands of them, none of them her. It was as if she didn't exist before she met me. The breakthrough came from an old, faded photograph she kept in a small wooden box. It was the one picture she had from her old life, she'd said. It showed a group of young, idealistic students at a protest. I'd always assumed it was a general student rally. This time, I looked closer. I scanned the grainy image and ran it through a historical archive search. It was a protest at Kent State University, May 4th, 1970. My blood ran cold. I cross-referenced the image with articles about the protest and the subsequent investigations. And then I saw it. A list of activists wanted by the FBI for their involvement in a radical group that had planned a bombing in protest of the war. They were fugitives scattered to the winds. And on that list, there was a face, younger, fiercer, but unmistakably her. The name next to it wasn't Elena Rodriguez. It was Diane Foster. The world tilted on its axis. My Elena, my gentle, peace-loving wife who wouldn't harm a fly, who taught our children to be kind, who created a sanctuary of love and tranquility for us, was a wanted federal fugitive. She wasn't a refugee from a forgotten village. She was a ghost from America's own turbulent history. She had been running her whole life. She ran from her past, from her name, from the law, and she ran right into my arms. She chose a life of love over a life of freedom. She built a family, a home, a whole world on a foundation of lies. But she did it with a love so pure, so real, that it transcended the deception. She traded her identity for a chance at peace, and she gave that peace to me, to our children. I haven't confronted her. What would I say? How can I condemn the woman who gave me everything, even if it was all borrowed? As I sit here, writing these words, I can hear her humming in the kitchen. In a few minutes, she'll bring me a cup of tea, just as she has every night for 50 years. She'll fuss over my blankets and ask if I'm comfortable. She is my devoted wife of 50 years, my partner, the mother of my children. And she is a fugitive. She is Diane Foster, a ghost in my house, and the greatest love I have ever known. My memoir is no longer just about a life lived. It's a testament to a love that defied the law, and a woman who chose a quiet life in the shadows over a loud one in the sun. And I, her husband, will take her secret with me to the grave. Like, share, and subscribe for more heart-wrenching dramas.